Welcome to the weekly podcast that keeps it real about youth sports, social issues, and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting the Final Word.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are streaming live from the Skills Center headquarters over here on 22nd. What's the address, Chris?
5107 North 22nd.
You got to say Sale. We in the hood. 5107 Sale.
Right next to Popeyes.
Right next to
Is that
Popeye.
hood enough for you?
Right next to Doug's Tire Shop.
There you go. Right next to
Get a
the
3-piece.
All right, so look,
Oh, my bad.
He tearing up the new equipment already, man. See, that's why we can't have nice things. See, that's why we can't have nice things.
Alive for 45
I
seconds.
know, right?
I feel naked without my headphones, but we gonna make it do what it do. All right, so
We'll have headphones next week, and we won't have Dre.
Yep, as you see, Dre has taken another FMLA day. At this point, he's over his parameters, and I'll be in contact with our Human Resources Department.
At this point, I think the Joker pregnant.
He might be pregnant.
I think Dre.
He pregnant.
Just let us know what it is.
Dre, you ain't got a little hey. All right, so we got some unfortunate news to start off with in basketball world. Dikembe Mutombo has passed away.
Man.
Long time NBA great, and Georgetown was my dream school. That's my favorite all-time team, that Georgetown team he was on.
Let me ask y'all this, though. Did y'all know he was sick?
I did hear
like
that
they
he had brain cancer
cancer.
or a tumor or something like that, but I forgot about it. But I know Alonzo Mourning just got cleared like 2 weeks ago from cancer.
But I wonder, where's he from? I was trying to figure it out today.
He's from Congo, I think.
Is it Congo?
You need me to ask Weezer?
Yep.
Ask Weezer real quick.
Damn, this Weezer.
Hey Weezer, where's Dikembe Mutombo originally from?
Nigeria.
Yo, fam. Dikembe Mutombo is originally from Kinshasa, which is the capital city of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Congo.
It's in Central Africa, and Mutombo has always been proud of his roots. You know what I mean? His journey from Kinshasa to becoming an NBA legend and humanitarian icon is nothing short of inspirational. He's done a lot to give back to his home.
I appreciate you, Weezer. We're shooting live right now on the podcast, so I gotta go. I can't talk right now.
Okay, fam.
No worries, fam. Focus on your podcast and make it a great one. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Holler at me anytime you need to chat or have any questions.
my question is, why wasn't it,
Publicized?
yes, as much as he does for,
Maybe he didn't want
Some
it
people
that
want to
way.
keep that private. Huh?
Some people don't want it that way.
that's crazy when it popped up today.
Yeah, because there was no like pictures of him where he was like thin or anything like that, which is fine. I mean, I like to remember him the way, you know.
Yeah. Because it was crazy as Bo was out there golfing today, and he said like 2 days ago,
Bo Jackson?
no, Bo Outlaw. He said like 2 days ago, he sent a picture of, he sent a video of him dunking. They were having a conversation, and he sent a picture of him dunking on Dikembe Mutombo in the group, right? And we're out on the golf course, and he said, "Oh, snap." And right under the picture, he showed me the video. He's like, right under the video, it says, "Yo, look, Dad, Dikembe Mutombo just passed away." I was like, man, he was like, man, how crazy is that? We were just talking about him the other day and how good he was. He said, and then, this happened. So just let you know that
56.
tomorrow ain't promised, man.
56.
Yeah, tomorrow ain't promised, man. So, get your checkups, man. Get your check-ins with your people. It'll be different, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, do somber news. I know a lot of people also, the hurricane, didn't think it was going to hit close, but we got a lot of families that were impacted, especially some skill center families. They I know they don't want it talked about, but I got a close family. Their house is gone, and this thing was 133 miles offshore. I just can't imagine what it would be like if we really got
if it were hit.
So,
And we were just talking about that today because, like, man, just think, we were like, man, it's not and it's not that bad, right?
well,
But I'm just saying that was the thought until you hear and you see some of the devastation around.
It was a bad storm, man.
Yeah,
You know,
but
so Jason's house, from my team, is like flooded, but he's on the water. His whole backyard
Is
was
he
beautiful.
Harbor Island he's St. Pete.
yeah, but man, there's some people just
Yeah, all the way up in Tennessee, because we got call centers across. And right before I came, I was on the last call. Our Augusta, Georgia call center is still shut down. Like, they don't have any water and power's in and out. Nobody has service, cell service.
Now there's another one coming.
Anderson, South Carolina was hit.
There's another one coming on the 3rd. There's another one coming
Speak
on
up.
the 3rd.
Yeah, there's two up. There's two
That's
out
this
there.
week.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm supposed to leave out on the 4th.
I mean, North Carolina, people. It was inner North Carolina. When people think North Carolina, they're thinking like the Outer Banks. This hit like western North Carolina.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
South Carolina,
Like Asheville.
got hit hard.
Yeah,
Power
Asheville.
out, everything.
It's crazy.
Flooding. I was like, man, they're like 350 miles away from the.
I was out of power for 14 hours, but nothing else. I feel like I was back in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, all I heard was. That's all I heard. That wind, boy, that thing was jumping outside, boy. Man, that's
Our power
tough,
lines are
man.
underground where I live, so we were good.
Yeah.
You got the new power. I got no idea.
Our power lines were underground.
Man, I never have any, knock on some wood. I never have any power issues.
Yeah.
All right, so,
Thoughts and prayers going out to
sure.
all those that are there's out in need and suffering out there, man. Definitely.
Knock on wood, like he said, I never had a friend who was like a house on a fire. This was like emptying the house out on Friday was like you go and you open cabinets and water pours out. I mean, it's like, and
That's nuts.
Jax
man.
went to help out, and he said to the dad, like, "Hey, what do I do with this?" And he goes, "All the shit in the house just goes in the corner. Like, you can't keep anything. Like, it's really sad.
Man,
Like, you
it's
just
tough.
throw everything out like overnight."
Definite prayers going
Definitely
out,
prayers to
man.
everybody. They
Yeah.
hope to get through it.
We had a lot of people that didn't make the golf tournament today due to the same thing. So
I haven't been over to
understand.
Clearwater, but they said they said on the streets it's like having like 3 feet of snow, and they're like plowing the sand in Clearwater because there's
Yeah, I
that
saw that. That was crazy.
like
That was crazy. I thought they brought that sand in, but that was actually
that was
brought in
here.
from
that's
the
what I
water.
thought. So
Yeah.
it's
That's how it looks, right? It look
Yeah.
like they just brought a whole bunch of sand in and dumped it, but it's crazy. So tell us about this room that we're in right now.
You don't want to tell about it? You don't know? This is our esports room and our STEM room or STEAM room, where we teach kids how to not just be consumers of video games, but how to modify, how to make money from it, how to make the content, market, make the music. Also in this room will be a sound studio with video editing, making music. Also, we have a drone program in this that runs out of this room, and robotics program. Also, we have over there a virtual reality content piece over in the corner. So the room is just for teaching kids in our community how to actually just giving them a leg up, trying to even or leveling the playing field for them and giving them some programs that will prepare them for what's going on in their school or introduce it to them. So this is what we have. This is Jerry Rice and Steve Young, the Forever Young Foundation sponsored the room. They sponsored the room, so this is going to be a big space. We can actually host video esport games or tournaments inside this room where we can bring in bleachers and they'll play on this stage behind us and compete. So it's a lot of stuff we can do in this space and just going to have some fun with it. It's for the kids and also podcasting.
Teach the kids how to do podcasting,
Yep.
which would be dope.
Teach kids how to film games, edit games, make music, make beats, make mixtapes, whatever we want to do in this room. We can be really creative, and we have a lot of creative kids. They just don't have the resources. Now they do.
This room's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Stoke, take us to our first video.
Jamal Crawford was
And
talking
so for
that
me,
talk.
as a parent, one thing I can honestly say when I was just a parent is I trusted who was coaching my son. You could send the whole half. I don't have a problem with it because I trust you, right? There could be a bigger picture. You could see something totally different. And the parents have kind of ruined the sport because now kids hating on another kid based off what the parents say on the car right there.
Yep.
A kid's, why am I not getting this attention? Why am I not? All that because with the parents, it starts at the home. And so now the parents are kind of messing up that dynamic. So now when we recruit kids, or I don't really recruit, when we choose to take a kid, we're choosing if that parent's going to fit in with what we see. Because we're teaching them, we're coaching them not where they are, but where they'll be and what we know is best for them. So you have to be able to fit in with that. And AAU, I think, is different. We're doing it totally different. But shout out to the Rotary program. They've always done it that way.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta ask you, like, you heard the players that I love that get out the way.
Yeah, that's you.
Give me the ball.
All right, so I think Chris, you said that one. But they were talking about when they take in new players, they kind of recruit the parents too. They make sure the parents are a good fit. Was that Chris or John sent that? Which one of y'all sent that?
I mean, it sounds like you're talking about me, but probably I didn't send it in.
All right, so I
But
think Chris.
I've done that before.
Yeah, but we've all done that before with, the sad thing about basketball is parents want you to be more than you possibly can be for their kids, and they want to get in the way of it, right? They're asking you to do all this stuff, and then they want to throw shots or throw shade or, always kind of like undermine what you're doing for their child because it's not the way that they would do it. But at the end of the day, they want you to take him on the road. They want you to feed them, keep them healthy. They want you to get them there and get them back the same way. They trust you with that, but they don't trust you with playing time. And a parent can really kill a kid's opportunity to play just because, coaches don't want to deal with it. And I had college coaches come up to me and ask about a kid, I'm not gonna say who, and they say, is the daddy always like that? And I was like, yes. And they didn't want to recruit the kid or deal with the kid because how the dad was on the sideline. And this was in a scrimmage game. In a scrimmage game, bro. He's sitting on the sideline and everything the kid did, he looked up at his dad. And the dude was like, man, I can't recruit that because then I got to deal with the daddy. But also, parents they can taint your locker room by the conversation that they have with their kids. And their kids listen to everything. So, you got a homeboy now that you dislike because you heard your mom and daddy talking about him on the way home. Y'all been boys. But now, so it's more about the adults now than it is the kids.
Yeah, I think you can tell how the kids respond to you. You can tell that when the parents are talking, by how the kids respond to you, they switch it up, they change, and it's noticeable because at the end of the day, there are kids. I mean, I've had two parents which their intent wasn't malicious, but they were kind of like trying to be more like transparent with their kid and like, nah, he's mature enough where I was trying to tell like, nah, he's still a kid. You know what I mean? So, but then I can't remember what happened in each situation, but with both of them, they did come out and was like, you were right. Like, it impact him. You know what I mean? Where they thought the kid was more mature than what they were. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, they're kids, man. You know, so.
I mean, just think about it. How do you feel about it? You guys are coaching right now. You know, you have a kid on your team that's parent is very vocal and creating. I mean, how do you handle it?
I mean, I've had a couple situations, and you know, my team used to be the longest tenure, meaning I had the same kids over and over again until recently. And I've had parents yell out in the crowd as I'm getting on the kid for a missed assignment, yelling out, "That's not your fault." Ooh-wee. So now the kid disregard what I'm saying. He believes that it's not his fault when he missed an assignment. Then I've seen the kid come from the beginning and be like, "Yes, sir." When you call him, "Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." To the point where when you say the same thing, he'll be like, I know what the change was. Yeah. It ain't the kid. It's your daddy or your mama who have never played this game before, but they're worried about the kid. Now, I always bring it to me. You know, I've been told that this year I need to sit. I was actually had a conversation with Bo Outlaw today. And I said, yeah, my son's a freshman, you know, basically starting brand new. He said, man, the first thing I'm gonna tell you is, don't tell them. Don't tell them what they're doing. Have a conversation and ask them. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that guy that's telling. Be that guy that you're hearing. At the game, sit way up top in the middle, or way up top on the corners because of what you said, so they won't be looking. And not only looking while they're playing, looking while they're not playing, because that's an issue too. But I've dealt with it, and I might have dealt with it wrong because I'm the one that said, bro, I know where this coming from. Your daddy ain't never hoop. I can tell why your daddy walk here and never hoop again. You know what I'm saying? That might have been wrong. Probably wrong, but it's real. Your daddy round, bitch. That your game play. But I know when you see a kid that's a hard-working kid and all of a sudden the attitude changes, that comes from the ride home. That comes from why you not doing this. So it's tough. It's tough. And I can't say that I'm perfect on that side. So I get it. You want your child to be the best. But you cannot, like you told Junior the other day, ain't no conversation. Get better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people understand that conversation. They do the blame game. They do the blame game, so yeah.
Yeah. And I sent you guys that. It's interesting that this came on. I sent the three of the clip that the coach up in Massachusetts said about puzzle pieces. And I'm a big person. I know John and I sometimes have a different opinion on it, but I'm about not having three of the same guys. Hey, that kid's really, really good, but I don't know if he would fit with my team because I already have two other guys like that. It will not work. And I think that's one of the reasons that, I maybe haven't gotten some players that some people think I should have gotten because we try to fit in there. And I take the Chris philosophy, my uncle philosophy. I don't have any conversation about playing time. I go visit these kids at school. I have kids on my team that text me. I know they text me before they're texting their parents. Hey, coach, I forgot my lunch. Hey, coach, I need this. Well, I'm not having a conversation about, are you playing or not? Because testament to the three guys who are sitting around the table, I never had a conversation with the guys that were coaching Jackson in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade when he wasn't playing, and I was coaching him 2 of those years. And so you got to go and get better. And then, there's too much noise in people's head. I was at a fall league game, and his dad got kicked out. And you heard about this story.
Yeah.
And the kid slammed the ball after, and he goes, "This is why I'm not getting recruited." The kid said it on the court after the dad left. And the ref that ref the game went up to me and goes, "Hey son, what do you mean by that?" He goes, "Every AAU tournament my dad gets kicked out of, so nobody will recruit me." And this kid is good. So this kid's 17 years old, really, really good. And his dad got kicked at a fall league game. He gets the ball, and the ref was like, "Hey, I'm sorry," but he thought there was something my dad. He's like, "No, he gets kicked out every single tournament," and it's affecting this kid who is extremely talented.
So what is the conversation if a kid comes up to you and says, "Coach, Why am I not playing as much?
I love having that conversation.
How can I get more minutes?
It's a big difference, though. Yeah. That's a big conversation.
Because it's coming from the parent.
Well, no,
majority of the time.
But it's the kid, the kid having that conversation with you. Like you can have that conversation with the kid. What do I need to do to get better? There's nothing wrong with that.
I respect it.
Even if it's coming, don't have the parent come up to me. Like if a parent came to me and talking about why my child ain't playing, I'm putting their ass off my team. Like, because it's going to be an issue. They're not going to trust you in the development of your team and what's best for your team. Like,
but you know what, Chris? Nowadays, parents can care less.
I mean,
about
that's
the
fine.
team.
Yeah, I know, and that's why.
Hence why you see all these.
And that's why I would be a coach that would be willing to get rid of their ass. I mean, like, I'm sorry, because it's going to be more of an issue. Now, you would be okay with me if you can't make a trip to drive your child to Tupelo, Mississippi.
Got tournament down there?
No, I'm just saying, just throwing it out. You would be okay with me driving your child to Tupelo, Mississippi. You're going to trust me with housing them, feeding them, taking care of them, but you're not going to trust me with what's best on the court. That just makes no sense to me. Like that just I don't understand it. To have a conversation with a child about, what do you need to get better? I'd rather do that because it's about the child. It's not about the parent. Most parents make this game about them. And half of them, like you said, they can't play dead in a cowboy movie.
I love two things, and I know two things I love is if a kid comes to me and wants to have the conversation, I love it when a kid comes and talks about it. The parent's like, hey, I want to talk to you about the situation not playing. I said, all right, we'll do a phone call with the child on the phone. And the parent was like, feels this way, and the kid started changing. He's like, nah, Mom, like, I don't really feel this way.
Somebody else had a conversation like that.
I don't really feel that way. And then the phrase, oh, my kid's getting better. Well, you think the other 9 kids on the team aren't getting better? They're just getting, oh, my kid's gotten a lot better since last year. So the other 9 kids didn't improve? Like, that phrase doesn't go long. But, I do think, depending on the nature of the team and how you're built, like, you got to have the right pieces, and you can't take everybody. You know what?
All right, take us to the next video, Stoke.
Oh, high hands like riding a roller coaster. Yes, girl! Yes! Good shot, Howard. Good shot, Joe. That's all right. Quick. Straight line drive. Q gives up the offense. Go.
Players go over and do wall sits holding up 2 bricks. What do you guys think about that type of coaching?
Did that teach him how to rotate?
What do you get out of it? Like, I'm just like, you punish the team. So is it, why are they doing it? Are they doing it so the team holds the kid accountable? I don't, like for me, if I'm gonna punish a whole team, I'm gonna punish the whole team for something the kid did off the court, like get in trouble in the cafeteria, doing something silly in school that has nothing to do with basketball. Like, I'm gonna hold them accountable for that. Right. Now, if a kid misses a defense assignment, am I going to punish the whole team? The whole team is going to be punished regardless. So it just depends on why he did it. Like, you can see the video, and the video doesn't say why he did it. So I can't say I don't agree with it because I don't know what type of lesson is he trying to teach. What was the conversation before anything you heard? Like, all we saw was the video. We didn't hear the conversation that led to it.
It might have not been the first time.
So it may have been someone saying, coach saying, hey, listen, I need somebody to hold this dude accountable. I need somebody to be a leader. I need somebody to push him and get him to that place. I need somebody to help him. I need somebody to have his back, because he didn't get there alone. Like, the whole team had to do it. And now the whole team's pissed with him, so obviously they knew what was coming. But see, all they show is the video, so it's kind of hard to, make a assessment or a judgment off of something you just saw.
All you guys, if a kid makes a mistake, and another kid makes a mistake, and another kid makes a mistake, everybody go on the line. So that's similar.
Yeah. You know, it's
Not necessarily.
no, because it's the same. He just made a defensive mistake. That's
Yeah,
one
but
kid.
you don't know
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
if,
Right.
if
they
another
made it
kid had did the same mistake,
times in a row.
like, okay, nah, bump that. Y'all not listening. Y'all not doing what I'm saying. I don't know about the brick thing. 'Cause,
Where do you have bricks?
Yeah, where did he get the bricks from?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so with me, I think as a coach, you have to identify if it's a will or skill issue. Now, if it's a will issue, if you got guys jogging back down the floor or walking back on defense or mouthing off or, things like that, then I can understand everybody get on the line or everybody do it. But a kid getting taken off the dribble, I mean, it looked like a hell of a player took him off the dribble. I mean, he just got beat on the play. So at what point do you have instruction? Like, where's the instruction on what to do differently? You know what I mean? And you see it so much with coaches where a kid will make a mistake, they'll sub him out the game and they just go sit down. There's no instructions. Like, you don't correct the behavior. Like, there's no most
And then they put him right back in the game, and
Right,
they
yeah.
haven't spoken to him about why they were out of the game in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see it all the time. Like, it's like, if behaviorally, if that kid's doing something behaviorally on the court that's causing him to get beat off the dribble, the coach needs to identify the most impactful behavior for him to be able to overcome that obstacle for him. You know what I mean? So, and then you got to rely on the 3 C's. So he got to, make sure that he gives the instruction. So he has to make sure the player is doing it consistently. And then once they are comfortable doing it, and then they're confidently doing it, then you hold them accountable to do it like that all the time. But it's just, you just see so many times that there's just no instruction from the sideline when kids get taken off the dribble, just different things. It just drives me crazy, and it's so common.
And when I coached, I coached with in different positions. So just say like at St. Leo, on the women's side, I was the assistant. So I was Robin.
Right.
So I was most of the time good cop. When I was at HCC with Sep, I was good cop. She was bad cop. When I was at Hillsborough, I was bad cop. Goodwin was good cop. Goodwin was bad cop. I was good cop.
Bad cop.
Yeah, we would switch roles like we knew how to play it. But one thing we always did was, even with Sep would be like, "Yo, Ward, get her." Like she would say, "Get her." Like talk to her, let her know. Or I say, "Go sit next to Goodwin." Or Goodwin would say, "Come sit here." Or go sit next to Coach Ward. Or we flip and flop. But we always had. We were going to explain to a kid why you're out. Like there's no conversation, because when you go home with your mama and daddy, and you had that conversation, because you're gonna have that conversation. He pulled you out and he didn't. Nah. He told me what I did wrong. Well, what'd you do? Oh, you knew exactly what you did wrong. And then the next day in film, we're gonna show your ass what you did wrong. And we're going to show you at the minute mark so you don't make the same mistakes, because at the end of the game or at the end of the situation, it's going to cost us games. And we want to go as far as we want to go. And if you're going to be a part of it, you need to know what you did wrong and how to get better from it. Yep. So, it is a lot of coaches out there that do not take the time to explain to these kids. They just yell and yell and yell, and these kids like, damn, bro, what am I doing so bad? Everybody else doing the same thing. What am I doing so bad? And they just yell, and they don't teach. Another person I did real well with was Seth. We had a really, really good rapport on the sideline and taking turns and talking to kids. Sometimes, though, the kids are so hard to talk to. They give you so much attitude that you just don't want to talk to them. You don't want to teach them. You don't want to explain to them. It's like they know. You start talking to them, and they're going to give you a rebuttal right away. Yep. They're going to give you a conversation piece right away. What's that? Y'all laughing at my phone?
Yeah.
My bad, dog. So I've had that too, where you just don't want to talk to the kid, because every time you say something, they give you a response before you even tell them what's going on.
All right, Dave, you got anything?
I think they covered it all.
Yeah. It's I think it's just a primitive way of coaching, man. And you still see it sometimes today. Like, coaches saying things like, "Oh, y'all don't need no water." like it's crazy. This is foolish. You know what I mean? But
Here's actually that video of Hurley.
Hurley crazy though.
Dude, he's crazy. 2 weeks ago in his practice, he snapped on his team. Got in. Liam was top 25 player in the country. The kid from, they're running the stairs at stores. He said, "We haven't won anything this year. Back-to-back champion." I mean, that guy is. But his dad was like that.
But he also said there ain't too many assistant coaches that want to be there. It's hard for him to get because of how he is. Now I think he's a great coach. I don't think he's tough, but I also think he's a teacher.
Yeah. And you don't know what he is behind the scenes. I mean,
Right.
You go to their games. They got a lot of alumni. I think you can tell by alumni, like if people go back to the games, what type of support you have.
Yeah, but look how Bud's coach.
Tough,
man.
But in the game, no.
Yeah, but
He
still.
coaches tough in practice.
Yeah, but he's still a tough dude to play for. He holds you accountable, and you have to be mentally tough. But at the same time, he loves on them. They know that it's coming from a good place.
Correct.
And so that's the difference when you know it's coming from a good place. Look, Gene.
He built relationship before.
Yeah, that's Gene Smithson probably was the best coach I've ever played for in my life, Coach Gene Smithson. And when I say, man, he used to call me some crazy stuff, man. I was P-mother for my whole freshman year. I didn't even know my first name. But when I say he held me accountable, I would run through a brick wall for him. Why? Because I knew it was coming from a good space. I knew he was trying to get the most. He was like, don't show me something and not expect me to build on it, right? You show me something, I'm going to ride that until you get me more.
But that's the problem, too, with some coaches. And even for our coaches here, they see how I act, overreact, emotionally, not emotionally, whatever, and they be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. The problem is they don't have the relationship with their players. So don't be me. You know what I'm saying? I done dealt with Mike McClendon since he was in the second grade.
I don't ever want to be you.
This is coming from the guy who.
Look, if I were you, I would quit. I would quit coaching ever.
But they don't know that I've known Mike since he was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? But I can't talk to a new player the same way I talk to Mike. It's a difference. You have to build relationships. Yeah. And I think that's what some don't understand. They jump into the yelling or the quote unquote their style of teaching before they build the relationship. You got to build a culture first.
Yeah, and a lot of parents don't want their kids to be coached hard. They want their kids to be coddled.
They want to be coached hard.
No.
Until they're coached hard.
No. They
Just
don't
like
want to be coached hard.
They don't want until I'm real with you.
They don't want their kids to be held accountable. I'm telling you, bro. They will leave your ass in a heartbeat.
Oh, but yeah.
If you hold their kids accountable, they will. I'm just telling you, man. That's just how this new age thing going.
But the thing about it, the parents will be like, "Oh yeah, man, you right." If I'm yelling at Dave, man, you right. Then I'm yelling at you. They be like, "Oh, like it's okay if it's somebody else." Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you be honest with somebody, man, you right. That joke there, I say, "Yeah, man," and then you get with him, man, but you was like, "Whoa, now I'm offending you." I just did the same thing with him. So
we don't have those issues in training.
Yeah, we had this thing we said at T-Mobile. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and it's the same thing with these kids. Like you have to actually go in and build relationship to be able to have those types of conversations. I had some tough coaches. My high school coach played for the Celtics back in the '60s. He was tough. I went.
JUCO coach.
I went to JUCO. I played for Coach Josh Giles. He was tough, but he was like, those guys were like father figures to me, like father outside of my father, especially being at Polk. We were away from home, and but then I go to St. Leo and I get Mike Hanks, which he never took the time to build that type of relationship with us, but he don't have these types of conversations. And he didn't come across as a guy who cared. He does now. You know what I mean? As our relationship is good now, but as player-coach relationship, it was not good. I didn't think that man gave a damn about me, and
so everything was a transaction.
Yeah, it was just bad. You know what I mean? It wasn't a good fit, and it was You know, and it was bad, and it was difficult for me. You know, and I went looking for his house one day. When, you know what I mean? After practice, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's, this is when, because he lived out in, what is it called, Hunter's Green?
Yeah.
And this is when they was first building that stuff. And I had one over there for Christmas. We went over there for Christmas dinner or something like that. I was trying to find that joint.
Duly
man,
noted. Don't invite your kids to.
No, I mean, it's just, but that's just how our relationship was. Like, I really felt like he was trying me, man. And then I never forget, it was me, Dave Rivera, played at Lato. You know Dave. Yeah. Sean Wilson, which you know Sean, and Sean Jeanette.
He was tough.
Sean
Both
Jeanette, he was there when you were there, right?
Oh, he was a freshman.
He was a freshman. We were riding in the car going to Club Atlanta, man, and I thought it was just me. You know what I'm saying? So, and look, I'm a completely different Joe now than I was back then. But we were riding in the car.
Looking for coaches.
We was riding in the car in Club Atlanta, going to Club Atlanta, and we was talking about it. And I remember Dave was like, "Man, the only reason I ain't quit, man, I just don't want to disappoint my parents no more. I've disappointed them out of high school. I mean, I'm just," and then I was like, I'm the same thing. I messed up so much opportunity. I landed here, and so now he kind of, you know, got me by the balls. I got to finish. I don't want to disappoint my parents. And Sean Jeanette said, man, my mom gave me this verse to read, man. Every time that man starts messing with me, and he said the verse. And this is like us talking, going to the club. Like, this is a conversation we were having. But we didn't feel like that man gave a damn about us, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a good situation. It was very difficult, you know what I mean, to be there. But we helped each other kind of get through that, you know what I mean? So, and, you know, now the guys from overseas, he was very close with them. And I think a lot of it was because they didn't have any family here, you know what I mean? So he felt like, you know, he had to overcompensate that for them because they were, you know, coming from across overseas and stuff. So they would go golfing, and it would just be them, and we riding by, and we see them, they hauling ass on the golf carts with beer in the back with Coach. We like, well, damn, we like beer. You know what I mean? We want to swing the clubs, you know. But it just kind of created a wedge. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
And so and I don't think he realized how important building that relationship was. I know that was a long story, but I don't think he knew how important it was to build that relationship. So we didn't give a damn what he knew because we didn't think he cared. You know. So
yeah.
Real fast, man. Pete Rose just died.
No.
The Hall of Fame ain't put him in, man. Don't put him in now. If
That's
anybody
crazy.
watching, don't put him in now.
Put him in now.
He just died, age 83.
That's crazy. I had something queued up that I've had it for weeks about one of our discussions we were gonna have. Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
Hell yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Hell yeah.
And I was
100%.
It's crazy, man. I was gonna bring that on because I don't think Pete Rose was ever when he gambled on games. I get it, but I don't think
win.
Exactly. I don't think Pete Rose was ever saying, "Hey, I'm gonna put $1,000 and y'all go beat us."
Right.
He was like, "I'm gonna put $1,000. I like me."
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that in my book. You know what I'm saying?
Now it's legal.
Right. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like I don't understand why he got crucified the way he did. I like me. I'm gonna
He was the hardest playing player ever.
Right.
That's
Not
crazy.
watching
Like
the Reds fight.
like you know how they say you got mossed? Mm-hmm. You knew when you slid head first, that's the Pete Rose.
Oh man, that's Petey.
Yeah.
Man.
Petey.
What year did he retire? It was in the 80s, right?
Retire.
Retire?
Retired. Banned from baseball.
I mean, same thing.
No, he got banned as a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got banned as a coach.
91 maybe?
Yeah.
Because he was
But he was still playing in the 80s, though.
Yeah.
So I remember
sure.
seeing him
In the
playing.
80s.
Yep.
and
Yep.
He
Barry
was
Larkin.
coaching in the 90s.
Yeah, he had that team with Barry Larkin, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you they're gonna try to do something.
If they put him in the Hall,
That's
it'd be
BS.
It is, man. He should have been in the Hall, bro.
Yeah, he was tough.
I
know,
never
tough,
understood that.
You know what?
All-time hit leader.
I was
Popping up on.
I was at an event on Saturday night. There was a Pete Rose signed baseball.
Oh, at the
at the gala, and I actually bet.
bid
And,
on it?
yeah, and the guy that won it, his value just went 4 times.
Right.
how much did
He got it for $350.
oh
$350?
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. Wow. Oh yeah, it's gone up. Yeah.
Pete Rose.
Rest in peace.
Man, rest in
And
peace.
Dikembe and Pete.
Same day.
Right?
Same day. Yep.
Crazy.
Man,
Happened
that's
in
tough.
threes.
Well, y'all be safe going home. I ain't trying to be funny, but
All right, let's pull up the next.
Boy.
High hands like riding a roller coaster.
To be honest, it drives me crazy. And I talk about it all the time with the trainers that I work with, coaches that are friends of mine, players that work with me here all the time. Like, I'm done with the fake stuff. I'm done with the fake offers. Like, I don't care about your offers unless the coach is calling you all the time. You've met with the head coach. You got an official visit set up. Like, I'm done with it. I'm done with the trainers saying on Instagram that they'd be in the NBA if they didn't tweak their hamstring or have a tight calf. Right? And I'm done with the AAU championships that don't mean anything. What happened to growing strong, disciplined kids? What happened to building players and people that are resilient and competitive? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
That's real, boy.
I think Dave sent that one, but somebody had already sent it before. I think
Dre might have.
Dre, yeah, probably. So talk to me. What y'all got?
Go ahead, Dave. You
So
said.
let me just say this. So he's saying he's done with these fake offers because we see a lot. We hear a lot. So if I tag a school, thank you for the offer, but everybody knows it's fake, wouldn't you think the school would say
What are
something?
they gonna say?
I mean, why are you tagging me?
What are they gonna say?
But
Anybody can tag a school and say that. You know how many people can make it a fake account? You know how many times they would have to go in and.
But that, I don't know, it's crazy.
I mean, thank you for the offer. What are they gonna say? No, we ain't offer you nothing.
You know me,
it would-
especially if it's a school that I know, I'm calling the coach on the side. Yo, this real? Hell no, it's not real.
But it would be silly. It would be bad press and silly for the school to even respond to it.
The sad part about it is
they won't respond publicly. They address it behind the scenes.
But the sad part about it is when a kid gets or claims this offer, and then you watch him play, and joking in the crowd, whoa, why? I was the other day I had one, and I'm like, and dude like, yo, he got this. And I was like, bro, you see it? And he's like, there's no way. I said, hey.
That's what they say about my kid.
Well, stop, man.
They do.
I mean, they might, but you ain't post no fake shit. That joke, he put his nuts on everybody, so I'm sorry.
I mean, that's just from. I can tell you that from the college coaches that have called me.
Right.
So that's not a. They can say that all they want.
That's what they say. Though.
But some people say they do that. So say for instance, Joe's is a 5-star kid at a school, and I'm a 1-star. Okay, I ain't had no stars, but they want Joe. Okay, so the head coach may be like, yo, offer this kid, and I make sure Joe is in your running. Is that true? Because that's the words on the street.
No, they do that.
You know what I'm saying?
They do that.
I'm a stroke John because I want Joe.
That's
You know what I
been
mean?
going on for years.
But that's politics.
If you have brothers too, they try to get like, if you got two brothers and one's better than the other, they'll offer the other brother to try to get the younger brother to go there. I mean, the part I don't understand is like, how do you post an offer when you know that there's no offer that's valid until June 15th of their sophomore year? Like,
They don't know that.
well, they don't know that. You're right.
They don't know it.
And
they
then-
don't know the NCAA guidelines or anybody.
And then it, but you got the high school coaches that are.
They don't know.
I
it
said I
either.
wasn't gonna go myself.
They don't know it either.
Oh, but they think they know everything,
No, they
and
don't.
they post the offers about kids that are.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that.
So when I was in high school, coach used to have me go. Anytime a coach came to campus, I would be with Cliff.
I got a
Every
good- I got a
time.
good story about you. And Cliff.
Every time a coach came to campus, I would be with Cliff, and I was like, I'll never go play with him, ever, So I used to be a jackass when I'll leave campus.
Yeah,
you know,
when Z went down there one
Oh,
day.
yeah,
You were supposed
Z.
to go to lunch, weren't you?
Yeah,
But why?
I would
Coach
not.
Z?
Oh yeah,
Z was recruited.
Zimroff
so
was
let
at
me ask
Florida
you this.
State.
When you were playing high school, Cliff brought the schools,
Oh yeah,
right?
he was a McDonald's All-American.
That's what I'm saying. So you wouldn't want to play with him in college. He brought.
I was bringing schools too. It's not like Cliff wasn't only one bringing schools.
So you want to separate to see.
I wouldn't go to play with him. I
I
wouldn't
know,
go
but you
anywhere.
want to separate. Like, man, hold on, I'm this guy too.
So I was the kid that felt that the only reason that they would even like me is because they wanted Cliff.
Gotcha.
So I'm not going somewhere. They would do it. I'm not going somewhere to sit on the bench just so I can follow Cliff. It don't work like that.
The sad part about these fake offers or whatever you want to call it, the feel good offers, whatever you want to do it, is that when it comes time to sign, that high major D1 that you posted and then you sign in D3, you're like, yo, what happened? Like, did you fall off?
You know what's crazy? I've seen it, and I don't say anything, but I've seen it where a kid will put on there, I have D1, D3, D3. Like, you have one D1 offer, you have the rest D3. Basketball don't work like that.
I mean, if that's the case, you better jump on that D1 ASAP.
No, but I'm just saying it doesn't.
Sign it today.
It doesn't work like that. If you have a legit D1 offer and you're a legit D1 player, Division IIs are going to come at you hard. D3s not going to even think they have a play at you. That their D3s are coming in on the back end.
Yeah,
like,
back off.
Yeah, they backing off. They're like, man, we don't have a shot at this kid. Some D2s won't even go at the kid. Some smaller D1s won't even go at the kid.
Absolutely.
So if you have a legit mid-major, high major D1 offer, coaches, we can't get that kid. And they'll say it. And I've had coaches say it, man. Yeah. I've had coaches say it about JoJo.
Yeah,
we can't get him.
Before Link was there, because Link didn't, this was before Link, I said to Justin, I'm like, well, why don't you offer JoJo and Josh? And he's like, we're not going to, neither one are coming to our school, so why would you even waste their time offering? Which I never thought of it. Like, why wouldn't you offer them just, he's like, why would we offer them?
Just to
and
say
he says
it.
it could, and he also says it could also impact the kid a little bit. They're like, they'd
That's
be like,
true.
why is the D2 offering us if you know them?
You know something I don't know.
If you know,
You
and
know
so
what I'm saying?
I asked him, I talked to Justin, I'm like, why didn't you offer, Josh and you? He goes, they're D1 players, and this would do, and he goes, it would be a bad look because they would be like, why is somebody locally offering? And I never thought of it that way versus saying, why. I thought it'd be good publicity. It's like, no, that should be bad publicity.
Yeah, Stetson was saying that when JoJo was a freshman. I'm like, hold on, now, let's not be so harsh. Like, no, you know what I mean? Because you know me, I'm saying JoJo what the D2s are, like whatever, because you never know what you're gonna need. You never know what's gonna happen. Like I was committed to Alabama and ended up at St. Leo. Like nobody thought that, none of the UT, Smith, they weren't recruiting me. Because I was committed to Alabama. Messed up and ended up at St. Leo. Now, Ted Owens was coming after me because he coached at Kansas. He knew how to recruit, and you can still make it out of D2. You know what I mean? He talked the draws off me now, but no did he. But it happens. It happens. So, for example, JoJo went to the Florida Gulf Coast team camp and played well. They offered him on the spot. One of the assistants got the Seton Hall job and called and said, you know what I mean? I saw JoJo over here at Florida Gulf Coast. I got this Seton Hall job. He's like, it's not something I applied for. They came and got me, and I want to bring him to Seton Hall. You know what I mean? So,
is that one of his offers?
Yeah, I talked to him. Dude called me.
Oh,
yeah.
So
I mean, but that's my whole thing. Like the Hillsborough County Showcase, like guys not showing up and going to that. Like you don't know who's going to be there, what type of job they're going to get, or who they know. Like Dave was saying, like the Division IIs and the Division IIIs, like that's a D1 kid. But one of their chums or one of their former teammates might be like, hey, you might need to come see this kid that's over here at Tampa, at Tampa Prep or whatever. You might need to come see him, because he could go. He's a Division I player. Like you don't. Like, don't turn your nose up to anything. You know what I'm saying?
So one of Tyson's biggest supporters, and this dude is amazing, Stan Jones.
Yep.
At Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
And what he was doing was he was like, yo, Tyson can play. Like, he can flat out play. Like, I don't have a scholarship to offer him. He wouldn't fit here. You want to walk on? He can walk on, and maybe we'll have something. But he can play at the level, and he can stand on his own. So he was making calls to coaches that left Florida State or players that were former players that are coaches now that were at Florida State that are in the coaching ranks. So NJIT recruited Tyson from Stan Jones. I want to say Kennesaw State. And I want to say, University of New Orleans, Jody Bailey. I remember came in, recruited Tyson just based on Stan Jones making calls and a couple others. He was just like, man, he can play at that next level. So he was one of the biggest supporters, man.
Andrew Wilson, that was one of the guys at Kennesaw State, right? That recruited.
I don't even remember the dude at
He was
Kennesaw.
just on a podcast, and the guy raved about Stan Jones. Like,
yeah, Stan Jones.
and his people that have coached under them, their coaching tree is legit.
Yeah, he's a good people. But it's just like
Don't
you said.
burn no bridges.
Well, it's not a lot of people just don't have the budget to get out. Right. These coaches, they can't go everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know, like you can go and you see 5 D1 coaches in one spot from the same school and they hit in different court. These dudes have a budget of nothing. The head coach can't even go out. Mm-hmm. So they're going to take as much, as many resources as possible to connect them. So these kids are crazy, man. Yeah, they have no idea.
They don't. It was a Power 5 coach that came to Blake to watch practice, and he was like, he said that he think Jason Johnson can play at like Maine or somewhere like that, and he was going to put it in the call.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? And but you know, we had a conversation. He was like saying, you know, he can go to Maine, and if he does well there, he could jump up, or he could stay at Maine and be fine. He said, but if he goes to Division II and he goes over there and averages 17 at the Division II, he could jump up even higher. You know what I'm saying, in the portal. He's like, that's the way it's done now. But, and I asked him, I said, do y'all do that? Do y'all like make calls and stuff like that? Like call? He's like, absolutely. He said, coaches gossip a lot. And
it's a fraternity.
Yep. And he said, and that's what we do. We call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna help my boy. Look.
And I'm not ashamed to say, like, JoJo coming to Blake, Josh was getting all of the attention. Yep. JoJo rode Joshua's coattail and got his foot in the door off of Joshua's blood, sweat, and tears. Like that's how he got his foot in the door. Like nobody knew who he was or knew anything about him. And they would come and see Joshua, and they always say the same thing. They would be like, yeah, I came to see Joshua, and I was like, who the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the hell is that? And he got his foot in the door.
I remember Derek Sharp was my first visit. I went to Brevard Community College. Mm-hmm. He was my host. I'm 17 years old. I went over there and played. Tennessee Chattanooga was in there watching. A big kid named Ed Snead. I remember like it was yesterday. And I had to. Back then, you played. Right. When you went JUCO.
Yeah, you went on the visit.
You played. So there was no matter nothing.
There wasn't no going to no football game.
None of that. You played. If you wasn't good, man. If you wasn't good enough, they ain't bring you back. Mm-hmm. So I played well, and ended up going to Central Florida Community College. Tennessee Chattanooga was my first offer. Just because they saw me at Brevard when I was on my visit, you know, going into, you know, so it does. I mean,
no, it's true.
They dare to see somebody else. You catch that eye, or they make that call. I've seen several coaches make calls for other players.
I mean, I would if I had a homeboy.
If you have a homeboy that's struggling and they need some help over there, and you find something. How do you think Tyson got to North Dakota State?
Right.
You know, Michael Butler's son-in-law was at Ohio. He had left North Dakota State and was in Richmond's wedding at North Dakota State and called them and said, hey, I got a kid at Tampa Prep down here in Florida that I think you would like. That's how Tyson got to North Dakota State.
But that's what I'm saying with connection. Like, don't burn any bridge, meaning don't decline any offer. Make sure it's real, but also people that you know. You don't know who they know. You know what I'm saying? You really don't know who they know. So don't act crazy on social media and all that stuff, and then expect a favor.
Yeah,
because it's difficult, man. It is not easy. It's very difficult.
So which leads, and I know this is kind of premature. October 14th, I'm gonna do something with these kids here. 60 high school kids. It's $50. It's 9 to 4, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's just going to educate on everything we're talking about, how to get better, how to get recruited, how to prepare your body, how to prepare your mind, you know, how to watch film, you know, like everything that you're talking about to be a basketball player or to be an elite basketball player, we're going to do on October 14th here. And I will not be doing all the sessions. I'm bringing people in to do the sessions and help with the sessions. The yoga, the Vertimax, the speed and agility. I mean, just any part that we can possibly think of. How you fuel your body, what you eat before games, what you eat after games, how you stretch before games, how do you stretch after games. Mentally, how do you, what's your mental like? How do you come down? How do you recover? Like, you know, anything that we can do to help these young people, because I think there is a need and there's a disconnect to where these kids are not getting everything. And I remember back in the day, you know, we would get a lot of this stuff. You know, coach would even say, man, you took your SAT yet? You took your ACT yet? You know the deadline is, that. We had somebody actually in our ear talking to us like, hey, look, you know, you need to take the ACT or SAT. You know, like they would, now, these kids, I don't even know if they know what they need to, what their GPA needs to be, or what their core classes need to be, or what they need to graduate. Like, I don't know. I really don't.
They don't. It's funny you say that, because this weekend, actually at the XBL League game, because they have free SAT prep up here at the Skills Center.
Yep.
And so JoJo came up here before the games this weekend, you know, to get his prep in. And, you know, Tosh was talking to some of the boys about it, and they were like, oh, I got to take the SAT. Like, they don't even have a clue that they need to take the SAT, that they trying to go to school. Like,
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, they didn't have a clue. I mean,
you know,
it's
or now, like with FAFSA, financial aid, everyone has to fill it out, even if you're not getting it.
Right. What are the advisors doing at some of these schools and stuff?
All right, well, so many
even
kids.
have those anymore?
Yeah, there's so many kids.
I don't know
though.
if they have those anymore.
There's so many kids, though. And you're talking about maybe one advisor to every, two advisors to every, 500 kids?
Well, the other thing, you and I were talking about it, you know, the NCAA removed, I wanted to make sure before I said it, but NCAA removed mandating SAT and ACT. That's the NCAA.
But
The
some
schools,
schools
no,
require it.
schools have it. I'm talking to the kid that he didn't have he's a senior, hasn't taken his SATs, he needs to, he can't apply to the school without the SAT score.
Yeah, the school, yeah.
Some of the schools, I don't give a damn. Listen,
NCAA weigh the requirement, but
that's
you
kind of
ain't-
like,
you ain't Cooper Flag.
yeah, that's like Florida accepting the NIL, but Hillsborough County saying, hell no,
Right.
we ain't accepting it.
We need to do a topic on that.
Yeah. So and it's for the some of the parents out there. I know a lot of the kids don't watch this, but I mean, if you feel like your kid is not being recruited and you need something, Coach Kevin Driscoll has a showcase up here this weekend that he's bringing colleges in from the Northeast and locally around here, Division IIs, Division IIIs, NAIAs. Our producer Stokely is going to put the phone number up on the screen. And there is a cost for it. Now it's 2 days. I don't know the actual cost, but I mean, if you call and have a conversation with him, he might be able to do something for you. But it is 2 days, even if you can make it to 1 day. But those are the types of things that you want to go to. You want to get in front of the college coaches. You might have writers that do camps or different people that do camps that say they have the connections. Cut out the middleman and go straight to play in front of the coaches. I mean, that would be my advice, to you guys. I don't know what y'all think, but that's my personal
2
advice.
days, 2 days, full days. You get $275 for 2 days, and you're having.
And you can choose one if you.
And
can't
then
make it.
$175 for Saturday, $150 for Sunday.
Right.
And it's I've had a lot of people call me about this.
No, it's
The head coaches are flying in,
Yep.
and he's got G League instructors. I think one guy lost in a championship, and he's doing it because it's my favorite trivia question at a bar. How many D3 schools are there in the state of Florida?
Zero. Yep.
And so now, there was the showcase that Willis did. We got D3s that are flying down from, we'll bring up Maine, that are flying down here now because they said it, we'll take your second or third best player, and you can get to Maine now in 3 hours. You can take a Breeze flight or a Legion flight, and that's their pitch. And so there were 2 schools that were down here from Maine. They said they're going to come back more, New Hampshire, Pittsburgh, because there's no D3s. And now there's no scholarships for D3s, but you got financial aid if you're a good student, and there is money out. There is money out there.
They've got education money.
And I follow the D3, I think it's called D3 schools on Twitter. I think Joe, some of the the facilities they have are
Amazing, yeah.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Like, unbelievable.
I
Go
mean,
to
Duncan
Mobile.
Robinson was D3 first, right?
Duncan D3 at Williams. And
Then he went to Michigan.
Michigan.
And then he's freaking
He's
180.
150 million, right?
150
Check
million.
this out.
And I think
Go to Mobile.
Mobile,
Yes.
Alabama.
They have a D1 campus, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a D3 school. Though.
Yeah.
D3.
Yeah.
What's the
D1
D3 in
campus.
I should know this. The one in the school the one where Ben's at, but the one in Georgia, Barry, not the other Barry, but there's like a BEROY that's like real nice in Georgia.
There's a bunch of nice schools, man. Some of them schools.
And they
are-
play some good basketball.
I think when we were at one of the travel ball tournaments, actually you didn't go. That's what Stokely rode with us.
Amherst.
Well,
We were at a D3 school that had that was like a D1 facility. I mean, it was, but it's, I mean, and you know, and it's good. And seeing nowadays, just like Pete Rose bet on himself, like we were talking about it earlier. I like me, so I'm gonna put this money on me. You go up to that Division III school and you bet on yourself, even if you got to take some financial aid or whatever the case you got to do. You go in there and you lay it down. Now with this portal, somebody will grab you. You move your way up and work your way out, just
I
like in the
remember years ago I took Vince Serrano and Jack Miller to Des Moines, Iowa, Drake University. They were hosting a D2 and D3 workout, like this camp. And Central College in Pella, Iowa, reached out to Vince. And that's where he went. And Vince was tough point guard, New York kid, you know, Puerto Rican, Dominican, you know, and he went out there and he was blown away by the competition because his first year he ended up on JV.
It's still tough.
Yeah.
He ended up on JV his first year. Now, he was tough.
Yeah.
But because of the skill level,
Yeah.
because of the pace of the game, the strength of the game, he had to work his ass off that year to get from JV to the varsity squad. It wasn't just given to him. And this is a kid they brought in from Florida to Pella, Iowa. You know, so the level is, you know, and I know some kids think it's beneath them and, you know, they don't want to go there. The ultimate goal is to get education.
That's right.
Brad Fenlon's brother. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
He was at DePauw, and that conference in the Midwest is incredible.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know, Brad Stevens played for him. He's, I mean, GM of the Celtics, the owner.
Right.
I mean, that conference is
But
tough.
all these camps, like the camp that Chris is doing, the camp that Driscoll's doing, like, don't be fooled. Like, this is real basketball. And no shade at nobody's camps or stuff like that, but be mindful. Like, you're paying for videos. Why not pay to learn the game on a college level?
Bro, I just had $50 from
Right.
9 to 4.
But they pay $175 for a video.
Yeah, now all of them is a service, like the
$50.
Yeah, well, I
from
mean,
9 to 4.
all of it is a service they're providing. Like the, you know, the writers that have their camps, like they write about a kid. Hey, it might pique somebody's interest where
Correct.
they be like, okay, let me go see what's up. Let me pull up some games on what's that little system called they got now?
Synergy.
Synergy. Let me pull up some synergy on this kid. You know what I mean? Like so so that's important. If you can do it, do it. If you know, video guys doing camps, it's important. They put that footage out there, that content they put out there. Somebody might see it. Okay, let me pull them up on Synergy and get some full game footage. I mean, it's, you know, all of that stuff is the bait. You throw the line out there, and then if you catch a fish on a hook, then the coaches look at it. They pull it up on Synergy. They
Bro,
like
I'm
what they see on
I'm
Synergy.
charging $7 an hour. $7 an hour.
You charging $7 an hour.
Yeah.
That's a mad breakdown.
Right.
Yeah,
But touch everything.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I get the video joint, but also don't forget the basketball side.
Oh, yeah. We're going to play for 2 hours.
And it's
They're
work.
going to play games. There's only
work.
60 players. I'm capping it once it hits 60, it's done. I'm shutting the system down. Like, so we're only doing 60. We're going to get in there and show them how to train, what to work on, how to transfer the skills that they learn on the playing surface and apply it to life and academics. We're going to do it all, man. Try to be different.
But yeah,
be
so
intentional.
I mean, I know I come across like passionate about this thing when I kind of talk about some of this stuff because I do want to I want to see as many of our kids succeed as possible because I know where I was headed. I know what this little orange round ball did for me, and you know, and I just know what it could do for a lot of these kids, man.
So what's pretty cool is I'm going to St. Martin this weekend. And I'll be there for.
You going on vacation?
No. I'm going to do assessments, basketball assessments in
say you
St.
never-
Martin. Yeah, so no, I don't get to go on vacation and stuff like that. So they actually bring me down because they're doing a tournament in the Caribbean, and the ultimate goal is they want people to come down and judge the development of their kids and see what level that they can play on, and then make some recommendations and make calls, right? So I went down earlier this year, and they have some kids down there that can ball, they can play, bro. They can play, but now we're gonna have eight different islands in St. Martin playing. That's an easy conversation. That is an easy conversation because coaches are looking for players.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah, we done went over. We supposed to go an hour, man. We don't got talking. All right, so
Still, because they gotta go to the bathroom here.
I don't know if I got no more. We got any more videos? We don't have no more videos, do we? No. All right, but I do want to go over the. As I said, we're gonna revisit all of the all-time teams again from 2020 to 2024, and we're going in alphabetical order. So who do I have? We already had A's. We're in the B's now.
Bloomingdale? That first?
Not Bloomingdale.
Brandon.
Time out. Time out. Time out. I gotta add that. Stall for a minute, because I gotta add the mic into this one. Yeah, because you're not being heard. Yeah, they're hearing me. Give me a sec.
From 20, oh, okay,
Yes.
okay, not the old one,
Right.
but the new one.
This is new. So we started doing
Okay,
the
okay.
podcast during COVID in 2020.
But the old ones are not on here. This is from 2020.
2020 to 2024.
Okay.
So this is through the existence of the Final Word podcast.
Okay.
So,
That's
and
okay.
we've been watching games because so many times back then
No, I
it
don't
was
watch
like I ain't see this kid. I ain't see.
I don't.
Well,
know.
we've been talking about him.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over it again. So the all-time Bayshore Christian basketball team from 2020 to 2024. Now I've consulted with coaches, people close to the program, and all that stuff to put these lists together. And what I saw as well. First team, you got Charles C.J. Cruz, Deion Brown, David Fitzgerald, Christian Rolock, and Jace Jezerat. And second team, Tyron Lewis. He's still playing. He's your age. That's your
He's
grade.
on D. Smith's team.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Kelsey Cumry, Joshua Cauderlin. Let me butcher these names. Andre Cesar. This sounds like a faith warrior. Max Furman. All right, so those are our first and second teams for Bayshore Christian.
Is that always their logo? Or you made that up?
I made these logos.
Oh, okay.
Weezer did it.
Me and Weezer, yeah, we got together. All right, so
Berkeley next.
no, Bell Creek. Is it Bell Creek or Berkeley? Bell Creek? Bell Creek. So the all-time Bell Creek team. I'll wait until it come up on my screen. All right, so the Bell Creek Panthers from 2020 to 2024.
And who voted on all this stuff?
Joe.
Me, and I had people close to the program and around it and stuff. I consulted with, some people
You
around.
ain't consult with us.
All right, so Neil Falconer. Did I pronounce that right? Faulkner? That's simple, huh? Faulkner. I always just call him Neil. That's my man. Great player, first team point guard.
Awesome kid.
Ben Walker, Jamel Jones, Caleb Sanders, and Elijah Payne. That's actually that first team, that real good team they had. So that's the first team. Rest in peace with Elijah Payne. Second team, Lyric Sarton. Alex Excellent. Yeah, he's at Bell Creek. He averaged like 18 over there. When I saw that too, I was like, Alex Excellent. So I pulled it up. He averaged like 18.
He was there
there.
his
freshman
freshman,
year.
sophomore year, maybe?
Before he went to Winthrop.
Winthrop.
Jamir Wallace. Oh, Wallace. He transferred.
He's at Bartow.
Bartow? Okay. And Tahir Bibbs, that's the shooter, and Joshua Payne, actually Elijah's little brother. Josiah. What did I say, Joshua?
Yeah.
Josiah, I'm sorry. I don't got my glasses on there over there. So, JoJo Payne fills out the second team. What are y'all thoughts on either one of these teams?
Lyric may be up there after this year, first team.
Yeah, I mean, Lyric is, you can make the argument, but Lyric played over there 1 year. Neil only played 1 year too, right?
Yeah, I thought Lyric been there, right?
No, he was at Brooks.
He was at Brooks.
Him and Neil was at Brooks
That's
together.
right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yep. But
But
Neil
it
used
is the second year.
Neil used to make that team go, bro.
Absolutely,
Like,
100%.
he made that team go.
Yeah,
like
basketball.
I agree with him being on first team right now because
Yeah, you're
Neil's
right,
he's
you're
a
right.
winner, bro, and
Yep.
he used to get it done. You know, but
Was Caleb? Was Caleb first team?
Yeah, he's
Sanders.
yeah, Caleb Sanders. You ask some questions you know the answer to again.
You took it off the screen.
All right, so
That's
the
it?
final word. Did we got time to go over the last thing? That little last picture? No, you can say no, producer. Super producer.
Ben Walker.
And you should put your mic over here, man, and chime in a little bit, man.
I mean, I guess I can.
You be like Stanford Steve.
I got my mic on.
You do? Okay.
Be like Stanford Steve.
All right, so this is the 1962 NBA MVP race. Who should have won this race? Now, you know who I'm going to say. My GOAT, Wilt the Still.
God damn. Well, you can't beat 50 points and 25 rebounds a game.
I don't know, man. Well, look at Oscar Robertson. 30, 12,
That ain't
11.
50 and 25.
Yeah, that's true.
50 and 25.
Bro, that's
50 and 25, bro.
He handled 75 points of the game
Playing in pro kids.
Good Lord.
with no
That's your
3-point
job.
line.
He might go shoot no
They
three.
I just want to know what the record of the other guys are, like the winning record for the team.
Well, Bill Russell won the most.
Well, Bill Russell had the best team.
Yeah, because they had no salary cap back then. So, like, 1 through 12, they was stacked.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah, Red Auerbach
They
was
had
breaking bread.
all 12 of them in the Hall of Fame.
Got Jerry West down there, 37 and 5.
Man, there's no
Elgin Baylor, 38 and 18. That's work too.
good.
Those numbers are insane.
38 and 18. That's work too.
19, 18.9, 19, and 23.
Yep.
Good Lord.
So who's y'all MVP?
Gotta be Will.
You got
These
Will?
numbers.
Who you got, Dave?
Who got it was you.
The logo.
So who you think should have won it?
By these stats,
Oh,
Will.
50 and 25.
Who you got, Stoke?
Wilt the Still.
Got Will? Who you got, Dave?
Man, those numbers, like, it has got to be Wilt Chamberlain.
No.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell won it that
because
year.
championships
Because they won the
count.
championship.
So the final word is Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Now I don't know this for sure. I don't know this for
Championships
sure, but I think. Hey Weezer, who won the NBA MVP in 1962?
Hey, fam.
In 1962, the NBA MVP was none other than that man. None other than Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics.
Put him on the mic.
Weezer, you been drinking or something?
For real.
You can't hear him.
No, fam. I'm just bringing that energy and vibe. You know what I mean? Always here to keep the convo lively.
You
and
couldn't hear it?
engaging for you. But if something seems off, just let me know and we can tune it up. I'm all about making this work best for you.
No, it's all good. So Bill Russell won in '62, right?
Oh, you got it, fam. Bill Russell took home the MVP honors in 1962. His legendary status with the Boston Celtics was cemented by his incredible.
All right. So that's the final word, man. My boy Wilt got robbed, bro. No respect for the Big Dipper. Like he said, nobody loves a Goliath.
Man. And just think how many times Shaq.
However, Bill beat Will.
He beat Wilt, but Will did that in pro kids, drinking scotch in the locker room, smoking cigarettes after the game at halftime.
And hunting about 5.
He probably knocked down by 13 that night. And 3 of them was at halftime.
Waiting for him.
And that is the final word. And we back.
Hey, we'll see y'all next week.
Take us out.
I won't.
Welcome to the weekly podcast that keeps it real about youth sport, social issues, and sports in general. The Final Word with your hosts, Joe, Dre, John, Chris, and Dave. And now, without further ado, presenting The Final Word.